everybody. Welcome to Dabs, episode 7, the show where me and a few like-minded people, we get together and we talk about our love of toys and other nerd shit, while we also talk about and do our other love, which is smoking the weed. So, today joining us, as always, we have owner and proprietor of Access Cannabis in Spokane, Washington, Wayne Fort.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing? Chilling? How's the store going?
Chilling.
Still killing it?
Well, we've definitely seen an uptick in the last little while. People worried about, whether the shops were going to be open, so they made runs on, getting large amounts in bags and stuff. And then they closed the bars and the casinos, and people didn't have anything else to do, so they hit us up for that. Yeah, we're seeing record numbers and record growth, and I hope it keeps on. A lot of new faces, a lot of growth. It's been really, really positive stuff.
Nice. It's awesome that you guys are thriving. I'm doing very good.
A lot of people aren't right now, and I try to, meter my enthusiasm about it, just because I know that my fortune is probably due to other people's misfortune, but at the same time, it's
true. But it's not like you didn't cause it, so
right place, right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's huge out there.
All right. We also have, all the way from Colorado, Christopher Sturm. How's everything over up? Is it north? I'm shitty with directions. Is it like west? North? It's like north and west, right? Yeah. From where I'm
about the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Right about that. Yeah. It's going good. Good. I wish I was high right now, but
oh,
this
yeah.
will do.
Oh, that's okay. Do what you got to do. Then we have the man representing the Dirty D, Nico Tronus.
What up?
How you doing today, man? How's everything out in Detroit?
It's fucking hot and humid and gnarly outside. I just got back from the dispensary, and the car was saying it was 94 degrees outside. So, yeah.
We're in the 60s here today. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's May.
It's May and it's 94 outside. It's redundant. Yeah.
And I am your host, representing Quakertown, Pennsylvania, Q-Town, as we call it around here. And I'm Brother Kyle. You can find me anywhere at Brother Kyle cross platform. Oh, I'll throw up everybody's little Instagram thing too, so we don't have to introduce them.
I'm Swayze always.
At Plastic Swayze and all right, so today we're going to talk, and we're going to keep it short and sweet today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the recent season of Clone Wars, and then possibly some stuff, what we've been getting into Rebels-wise, and hopefully Nico can get us with some, hit us with some news and rumors, about Star Wars future and Mandalorian Season 2, and some things that I know I'm excited about. Like a certain female Tigruda. But first, everybody get ready. Wayne, what are you smoking today?
I'm going to be smoking some Buddy's brand Berry White. It's a live resin. They're a company that's been around here in Washington for a few years, but I've recently started carrying them in the store, and they've really blown me away with their quality. So I'm going to give them a shout out to those guys today.
Chris, what are you drinking?
White?
Berry White, yeah, Berry White.
Love it.
Yep.
I'm drinking straight from Fort Collins, Colorado, New Belgium, Fat Tire,
nice.
Local.
Nico, what you smoking on?
Well, I have a little selection today. I've got my usual go-to, some Dazed extracts, and this is Sunshine No. 4, which is quite tasty live resin.
That Dazed always looks so good.
Oh, dude, it's bomb. It really is. And then I got, on the recommendation of our buddy David, some wax some house wax from the dispensary. And I got Midnight Glue, Durban Poison, Super Glue, Ghost OG, and 2 grams of Pineapple Express.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Dave, by the way.
Over.
We got to get him on here one day, and I know it sucks because he doesn't have the equipment, and also with the kid and stuff like that, it's probably hard for him to get a minute. So one of these days we'll have to get him on.
Definitely.
I will be smoking. I haven't taken a dab in so long. It's going to be awesome. But I'm going back to
yeah, boy.
Moxie, and I got a little something called Pocono Kush. I know we had this conversation about that Moxie before.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's the same company or even if it is.
It's the same logo, but I mean, if they're still selling, they must have gotten better at what they're doing.
But this stuff's cool. It smells really good. I'm also smoking on a little GLeaf sativa. Or you probably can't see it because I have the screen blur. But it's called Orange Cookie, and it smells so fucking awesome. It smells citrusy, which I love. That's like my favorite weed smell.
Same here. Citrus. Love
and I also got one of these disposable pens from Cresco Labs, and I don't usually buy these because they're kind of like for the price, they're like a waste. But I wanted some Cresco, and I love Cresco. They're my favorite brand, and this is I forget what the one's called, but it's really good. And this is a live res 250 milligram something half a gram with a battery. So all right, everybody, let's fire up.
Yeah, but never.
All right, so Clone Wars. Somebody remind me, when did they air season 6?
Season 6 was, I think, 2012, 2013.
Damn, so it's been about 8 years, 7 or 8
Yeah,
years.
and then Netflix had a rough version of season 7, like a few of the episodes. But they've changed. They actually changed quite a bit. But you can find those on YouTube if you want to actually see. In the first episode of season 7, that whole sequence with Anakin and Padme talking wasn't in the original episode. What was in the original episode was some of the clones painted Senator Amidala on the front of their gunship because they all thought she was a babe, and that just happened to be Anakin's troop of clone troopers. And for whatever reason, things being the way they are now, they took that out of the episode and instead had that whole conversation between Anakin and Padme. And you could see she's showing her.
I was just saying that to my roommate. I was talking to him about it. It's so crazy watching these things and seeing all the ties-ins. He was just talking to her on a hollow, and she has a little bump, and she's also rubbing her stomach too.
Yeah.
And I guess that was before that he knew that she was pregnant.
Yep. Yeah, because he wouldn't have found out until shortly after the beginning of those final 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of because what was it? The second one was where Obi-Wan told Ahsoka and what's her name? Mandalorian Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan,
about Anakin killing Dooku.
Yeah. So when Disney bought Star Wars and they decided to bring this back, and everybody watched it, and I just watched a couple episodes today. So from we'll get into the last 4 because I want to save that for the last thing. But the Bad Batch, the first arc was the first 4. I'm looking at the titles right now just to make sure I get all my facts right. The first 4 was this series, It looked like it was kind of split into like 3 parts. Like there was 4 episodes with Anakin and Bad Batch, and then there was the other 4 with Ahsoka and the 2 chicks, and then the final 4. And I really liked how they did that. But was the Bad Batch part? Did they make them specifically for this, or were they part of any other kind of like canon?
From my understanding, like they were always a part of the episode. I don't know if everything went exactly the same with them, but I think it was pretty close. That's actually the one thing that kind of bums me out is that we only had them in those 4 episodes. We never saw them again later, because I would have liked to have seen what they did with Order 66. Like
for sure, dude.
Yeah, like because if they turned on some Jedi, ooh,
that'd be gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that would be fucking crazy. That's something maybe they could do. So they put out some figures or a box set of the Bad Batch. You guys getting them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, they were awesome.
Yeah, like actually, while I was on my way to the dispensary, I called the comic store to see if they had any clone figures like loose or in box, but they're closed today. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, Memorial
Day.
Yeah.
I think they could use like the heavy Mandalorian armor. They could make they could use him to make fuck, what was his name? I was like Wrecker. Yeah, I was literally like trying to memorize all their names.
Yeah.
The Hamdalorian, like a Mandalorian, but kind of like what kind of they could retool that to be Wrecker.
They'd probably just take. Well, they'd probably have to just make like a whole new mold, because even all of their like clone armor is like slightly modified from, from the normal clone armor, and especially for Wrecker, it'd have to be pretty big, considering, just how much bigger he is than everybody else.
Right. Yeah, I really liked how we all had watched, like, obviously, like the prequels and stuff like that. So like when you're watching like this whole season, and it's like kind of weaving in and out of like it starts out like pre Revenge of the Sith, and then just kind of like works its way in there and sneaks around and fills in a bunch of gaps and shit. It was really cool that they used this to bring back Echo.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually one of the things. I mean, again, it's the same thing like what I just said, the Bad Batch, that like we never got to see them again, which is kind of a bummer. Would have been really nice to see them again. But who knows? Like I heard a rumor, like there's so much going on with the live action stuff, the Mando stuff and everything that's going to sequel out of that. But there's actually a rumor that there might be another season of Clone Wars like next year. I don't know how true it is, because nobody else has really said anything, and it's been a while since anyone said anything about it. But clearly, like, Dave Filoni would be all about it. And that ending, I mean, it's so dark and ominous, but maybe that could like set the tone if they did decide to do like an 8th season. It could be, Vader and stormtroopers that used to be clone troopers hunting down Jedi.
Oof. Oh, that would be so sick.
Yeah, like the Darth Vader comic book it's pretty interesting, because it picks up like right after Revenge of the Sith. Like the Marvel book that started like a few years ago. I think the first arc ran like 25 issues, and then they started a new series. It deals with a lot of that stuff, and like the Inquisitors, and who we don't really get into until Rebels, which obviously takes place sometime after Clone Wars. But yeah,
it's like 17 or 18 years or something, I think.
that makes
I
sense.
looked it up more because it would, it was basically when Luke was born. So when Luke was in A New Hope, that like, what was he like supposed to be like 18 or something like that, or 17?
19, I think, 19 or 20, some shit like that. Young enough, but old enough.
Too old to begin the training.
Too young, according to Yoda.
Very
Too old.
tall.
Too old. Sorry. Fuck. I don't know. I had a whole list of ideas of things to say, and I'm just blanking on them all.
Well, yeah, because you did it bad.
Of course.
What about fuck? Anybody?
Why not? So Kyle,
what do we think about the second phase then of Clone Wars, right? So you're talking about the 3 different phases. We've touched on the first one. The second phase was probably my least favorite of the series, and the third phase being my favorte. The second phase, like, I was really curious what had happened to Ahsoka. I mean, she just kind of rides off in the sunset. You don't see her again after this, after that, her part in the Clone Wars when she breaks off. But what happened immediately? Like, I really liked that it picked up literally, moments after she's riding along. What within the few moments happens. Wasn't really a huge fan of, that whole part of the series. Not to say it wasn't good. I mean, I know it was meant to show that Ahsoka was, learning and realizing what it was that, drove her versus, her as a Jedi. But at the same time, I mean, I guess it was important for series continuity and for a good finale and all of that. But
I'll counter that with it being bad because it took, what was it? Was that arc 3 episodes or 4 episodes?
I think
it was 4.
Yeah. So it took 4 episodes, and it wasn't until the last episode of that arc that it was the third. It was the second to last episode of the arc where the girls revealed how their parents died. That Jedi were involved. That it was the one Jedi bitch that turned and accused Ahsoka of bombing. Yeah, Barra Sophie. It was her. She was the one that killed their parents. Like, the whole point of that was to show the callousness of it. Now, obviously, these girls don't know what happened with Barriss in the Clone Wars, where, she had set up Ahsoka like that. But that whole thing happened during that arc. So, like, it took way too long for them to get to that point. Just like me explaining that right now.
The one thing I did like about it is it showed just how, like, the common folk of Coruscant were living and stuff like that. No one that was like a senator or anything like that. It was just like plain Jane people. But yeah, they took too long to flesh it out. Yeah. It should have been within the first half of the first episode where you see those 2 girls.
Right.
That you see why they don't trust Jedi and stuff like that. It's like, dude,
I think one of the most poignant moments of the series ends up being, in that third arc in that last episode when he's explaining to Ahsoka how the troopers are willing to die to stop him, and he still calls them his brothers, and he's choked up. You can hear the emotion in his voice.
Yeah.
To me, that was.
She's.
Yeah.
It's
and he's crying. Yeah. There could have been half a dozen moments like that if they had taken, I think you're right, shortened that arc and put more stuff like this, because that was so meaningful. It was so powerful. You could have done several different really impactful scenes like that with other clones and other Jedi and I would have really enjoyed a lot more of that and a little less of the sisters, I guess. I mean, that felt like season 2, season 3 Clone Wars, and we've only got this much Clone Wars left, and you're filling it with sisters.
4 episodes of 2 people.
It wasn't bad. It was just, and they showed with that scene how good it could be, and that they, but they just didn't give us more of that kind of stuff, which I guess in its own way is fine because I mean I only need to cry so much during a cartoon, you know.
Man. So I actually like, as all the things that you're saying are completely true about like it just kind of like drawn a little bit. I'm a little bit biased because Ahsoka's my favorite character, so for me to see like 4 whole episodes that are just her was pretty awesome. It could have just those 2 characters were very annoying though. I like what was the younger sister's name? I know
number 2.
it was Martez. I know the last name there were the Martez sisters, but I don't remember her first name.
Go.
But she was all like, it was cool. Like if they would have had her be like maybe one of like the pilots that was people know like in the fuck. Sorry,
it was.
They could have maybe made like an Easter egg where she was somebody from like the old canon series or something that they knew about that was a part of the Resistance or something, who later went on to be part of like one of the pilots. I don't know. But to make the 2 random characters like that, I just didn't really care about it. What I did like was I like what you said, Chris. I like what you see, like people that have opinions of the Jedi that aren't the ones that we see from just watching the episodes of the Jedi. I mean, you see how these like, you know, like you said, the common people are they're not really like, they don't care about Jedi and fucking stuff. Like they just want to not be in this war.
Yeah, they just want to live.
Yeah. And another thing I liked was how toward the last 2 episodes, I think it was the last 2, but they kind of started peppering in the like the stuff with the Pikes and then being controlled by Maul, and them showing that they were like having a sense that Maul felt like something was going on.
Yeah.
And then from going to that right into like his big part in the final like 4. That was a cool like at least good, like I thought, like good story development anyway. Yeah, I liked all the stuff with the Pikes. Like I like their characters are pretty cool.
The tie-in to Solo too, you know, with when he was communicating with him on that hollow chat, and you saw Vision. I can't remember his Star Wars.
I don't know his name either. Even something.
I don't know.
They did touch on him being with the Crimson Dawn already too, right?
Yeah.
Those episodes, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's what that was he was communicating with the other Crimson Dawn peoples.
So I recently read that Ahsoka book, or I listened to the audio anyway, and a lot of that stuff that happened in that second phase reminded me of stuff that was kind of like in that book, where it was like her being on her own but also being a fugitive, so she can't really like safely just chill, and then she meets people and her past gets drugged into that, and it kind of reminded me. They did it better in the book, but it was pretty similar to that, which that book was really awesome, by the way. Anybody?
Yeah. I guess originally those episodes in particular, it didn't have the sisters. There was a guy, and he ended up being like kind of a love interest for Ahsoka. And they changed it because they didn't want to do that to the fan community. Like, they didn't want to introduce a character and have them like potentially die or just not be a part of the story. Ever again.
I like Ahsoka without like I feel like I like her better without a love interest.
Yeah, like there's
more like a tragic hero.
I mean, yes.
Well, she's on the younger side too, still during that.
Yeah,
during those episodes where she's not fully an adult yet.
Yeah,
you know. So.
Yeah, and I mean, even in Rebels, which is like however many years later, or 20 years later, just under 20 years later, or whatever, like that's really sorry. I still thoughts are swimming around.
I'm gonna make like that whole time you're just staring at into space. I'm just gonna put a sound effect like beep.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ahsoka and Rebels.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of people on the internet that just kind of push the idea of Ahsoka and Rex getting together.
I mean, all right.
You know, which would be okay and fine and weird at the same time because, you know, she's so much younger, but at the same time, her species ages a lot later than like humans do. So like she won't hit like her prime until she's like 70 or 80. So you know, when you take into account that and like the way the clones have like the accelerated growth hormone stuff,
Yeah.
you know, it's I don't know.
That's something
So
like
who knows?
You kind of see it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name? Andrea, and Dale in the fucking Walking Dead. Was it Dale?
Yeah, Andrea and Dale. That was weird for sure. That was weird.
The
In the
old guy with
comics you're talking
the
about,
old guy
right?
with the RV. Yeah.
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 Dude, he was hooking up with her and Amy in the beginning, in the first 6 issues or whatever before she dies. Both of them were hanging out with Dale in his RV and doing shit.
Wow. Real Dale.
Anyway.
If I remember correctly, anyway. But I'm pretty sure I do.
Didn't Dale, in the show, didn't he die because Carl fucking didn't kill a zombie that he had the chance to kill?
Yeah. Yeah, they did him a little differently in the show.
Yeah.
Coral.
Cool.
All right, back to Star Wars.
Sorry.
So I guess that brings us to the coup, the main. I was gonna say coup de grace, but I don't know if that's the right French word. It kind of is, right? It works.
Yeah, it works.
Phase 3, the
Works.
final 4 episodes, which I always tell people that haven't watched this that if you're into Star Wars, like my roommate, he's into Star Wars, but he don't like to watch like cartoons and shit. And I said, you do yourself a favor and just watch the last 4 episodes because you don't really need to know. You don't really need to have seen Clone Wars to just watch those last 4 episodes and have it tied to Revenge
and to get
of the
the
Sith.
feeling of it. Yeah, like it's there without having any prior Clone Wars knowledge. Yeah.
And I think Nico. I mean, I guess somebody would have to fill you in about like Rex and Ahsoka, but that's really it. But Nico, I think you told me that they originally had like wrote that like it was supposed to be kind of like a one-shot movie or something like that.
Yeah, like the final. That's why the final 4 episodes, like each one opens with the classic Lucasfilm opening.
Yeah.
Because they wanted you to know that each of these were like really important, and that was the initial plan. Like you can watch them all back to back now, and you know you get the basic feel of it. You know, it's pretty sweet. They did such a great job.
I was really glad that I waited till they were all out and watched them all once.
I did the same.
Yeah.
It was good watching. I mean, with the exception of those sister episodes, it was every Friday morning. I was excited to wake up and watch it. So.
Yeah, they came back hard with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they delivered. Like especially on those last 4. Fuck, dude.
Like
Amazon
Japan shipping with DHL, they delivered.
That was a nice plug for DHL.
And Amazon Japan. Send me free shit or Amazon money or credit, please.
So they started with the whole Siege of Mandalore thing, which you know, I'm realizing now watching Rebels, because this came after Rebels, so like I got more into the Mandalorian stuff because obviously I watched season 1 of Mandalorian and they're talking about stuff that happened in the past in Mandalore, and I didn't know any of that shit. So watching Rebels and then watching Clone Wars and them actually showing the Siege of Mandalore, like where they overthrow like Desmond with Gar Saxon and shit like that, like all that stuff was awesome. And then I almost completely forgot that Maul had taken Mandalore because I hadn't, like, it was like a gap between when I was watching it. So
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I almost forgot about that, and it was really cool that they used all the coolest fucking like all like the main characters of like some of the Star Wars like Anakin and shit like that. Where they're like it's kind of like annoying sometimes, like especially in the prequels. But then for them to come strong with this, and it was basically just Maul, Rex, and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And those are the, especially with the rumors of Ahsoka and Rex coming to live action, like I'm sure that's deliberate.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the things that gets me about those episodes, with Ahsoka is like they could have cut that down to like 1-2 episodes and given us 2 more episodes of Maul or this whole final arc, I would have loved that.
Fucking A.
So the basis of it was that they left like Ahsoka in charge to run the Siege of Mandalore, and they gave her some of the 501st, and they promoted Jesse.
No, they promoted Rex.
They promoted Rex to
The
commander,
right?
Yeah. So he could lead it, and that was really awesome. And then like I just like fucking like I was so happy when she walked in that room and they had all the Togruta symbols on their stormtrooper shield or their clone shields, and
that was dope.
That was
something about like loyalty that Anakin was talking about and stuff like that, and then it showed them all fucking standing there. That was dope.
Yeah. And then he goes ahead and gives her fucking blue lightsabers, which was pretty awesome.
One thing that I didn't catch before, and it's just a tie-in with Rebels, is a scene where Kanan Jarrus salutes Rex, and they tie into that a lot from this last season of Clone Wars, what that salute means, because Ahsoka's walking around and the clones are saluting her, and she's like, "I'm not even a Jedi anymore. Why are they saluting me?" And they said it's a matter of respect.
Yeah.
And then so that kind of carries over with Kanan Jarrus and Rex in Rebels, I think. But when that's released, they hadn't explained it yet in Clone Wars, so it's a callback. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Kyle, I've got to go in a minute or two here. I got to head out to work.
All right. Was there any final thoughts you wanted to say, Wayne?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can.
No, I think I'm good.
I really liked how Anakin gave her the lightsabers, and then at the end of the last episode, he finds one of them, and he's like, you can just see right through his mask that he's like, "Damn, dude," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was tight. And I want to know if he kept that lightsaber or not. I'm so curious.
Yeah, he
about
did.
That.
He took it. Ahsoka still had one of them, and she left the Shoto blade, the little one. And then eventually she ends up killing an Inquisitor and taking the red crystals that had been bled from the Inquisitor's lightsaber and forget what they called it, but it's basically like force washing it clean. So
Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Use a magic eraser.
Pretty much. The force magic eraser on it, and it goes from red to white, and so that's why in Rebels she has the white saber.
So in Ahsoka in the book, she didn't have any of the sabers. She did that. That was the first saber that she made. She beat that Inquisitor without a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then she took his lightsaber, and then they make a point of them to tell her. Or her to explain that she was going to have to go build another one, like a second one. Because I think that crystal had 2 crystals. Because it was a double-bladed one.
It's a double-bladed saber, so it has 2 crystals.
She makes it a point that she's going to go build a second one. And she builds this other one is when she's traveling around, she keeps this pouch with her, and she's collecting little bits of scraps of metal and parts and stuff like that. And they don't explain why she's doing it. And
that's cool.
She doesn't know why she's doing it herself. And then later on, when she feels like the Kyber crystal singing to her from the planet, she goes down to that planet, fights the thing, and then she uses the force and force builds that fucking.
I'm gonna have to read that book, dude.
That this is why that she bought it. And then, it's really dope. And
all right, guys, I'm out of time. I appreciate you.
Wayne, thanks for coming on, bud.
Later, bro.
We'll see you at work.
Thank you.
Good luck, man. Make that money.
Thanks.
Dollar bill.
So this brings me to like this thing that's been bothering me, and so she left one saber at the gravestone. She didn't have any sabers in the book, which happens pretty much a little bit after that. It's 1 year, 1 year exactly, because it's the first Empire Day. That book opens up, and then eBay, and I still can't figure out where what happens to the other saber, because she only drops one, and I watched it like 3 times. She's fighting with 2 sabers against the Clone Wars, and then I thought she dropped one, but she doesn't. She has both of them, and she only leaves one, and I don't know what happened to the other one between where she left it and when Ahsoka the book starts, where she doesn't have any lightsabers.
Oh, well, yeah. I know for sure Dave Filoni said she only left the small blade, but she still had the other lightsaber with her, according to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember she dropped it with all the clone helmets.
All the clones.
On the ship, because like I thought that was pretty cool that the ship crashed and she went and like took all of those clones out, buried them, made that was fucking rad, dude. Yeah,
it was one of the absolute best lines of that movie. You can call it a movie if you want. One of the best lines ever is when Rex tells her, she goes, "Those men are willing to die to kill us," or something like they're willing to die against us or whatever. And she goes, well, they might be willing to die, but I'm not willing to be the one that kills them. So
yeah, dude.
She already knows from the jump they're gonna die. All the clones, most likely, obviously they survive, but like all the clones are gonna die. Like nobody's fucking surviving this. This is some crazy shit that's happening. All the Jedi are fucking dead. Like they're all trying to kill us. Like this isn't gonna end well. But she's still like even Rex is like more than willing to start like shooting all those fucking people.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah.
Him is like, and I guess like his brain is just like they're gonna kill me, so I'm a soldier. I have to kill them first.
Yeah, kill or be killed.
And I don't think he's happy about it, but
he's not.
But he was
willing to. I
think
my favorite part of those final 4 episodes was when Ahsoka was hearing Christensen's voice from Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Like, saying, "What have I done?" and stuff like that. Like when she was hearing that, you could just see like she's just like, "Oh, dude," like gripping her chest almost, like, "Oh fuck, dude."
That whole scene was so fucking tense.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god.
Ominous music, and she's walking through the ship, and then she's hearing all the things, and like what's going. And then you hear Palpatine execute Order 67 protocol. Whatever it says, and you're just like, oh fuck, man.
Dude, and when they when she was jumping around and first deflecting their shots when they first started attacking her, that was so sick, dude.
Well,
before she climbed up the.
Yeah, let's back up a little bit. Like when that door opens and Rex is standing there and he's shaking at the table because he's trying to fight this order, and he's telling Ahsoka to get out of there.
Just telling me go find.
Yeah, that was.
Find Fives.
Man.
Yeah,
because he knows something was fishy with the whole chip thing. So I guess that was him able to fight it a little bit, but he couldn't. Like the only reason Fives got out of it is because they ripped it out of him.
Yeah, and I mean, she made it a point to knock him out, so she didn't have to kill him, and he didn't kill her.
Yeah.
But it was really sweet the way she was deflecting all those blaster bolts upward, because if you watch, that's exactly what she's doing, and the animation even it shows you. Every single one of those bolts that gets shot at her, she's deflecting them.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. You go back.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to hit any of them with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just clone fucking Rex is just fucking stunning. That's the word I'm looking for. Stunning.
Yeah, that was so good. When she was talking to him on the intercom, and he's trying to find her, and she's like, "I'm right here." I was just like, "Oh."
Yeah, so good.
So
and that's the great thing about the stuff in Rebels with Rex and McGregor, and who is the other one that's with him? Wolf, I think.
I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank, but I'll say you're probably right.
Yeah, well, because Cody obviously was with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of the red.
Yeah.
Shit. Cody had no hesitation. He's like, blast that fucking dude out of the sky.
Obi-Wan. I love that meme he sent through that he was like, wait, who said that? And it was like Palpatine, and he's like, wait, Senator Palpatine don't look like a fucking ball sack. Who the fuck is this guy?
Prank callers.
But yeah, I think Jesse too was on that ship.
Yeah.
Right, the guy he's on the ship too. Right? But
Jesse
is the guy with the tattoos? Is that that's not Kix. That's Kix's friend. Who's the guy?
Kix is still alive. Kix is still out there.
Or maybe that was Jesse. The guy with all the tattoos over his face. I think that might have been Jesse.
Yeah, that was Jesse. The one with like the Empire symbol on his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died. He died in the crash.
His
helmet.
Yeah, it showed his helmet. Didn't she leave his neighbor by his helmet?
Jesse was the one that was telling when Rex came out trying to convince them they don't have to kill Ahsoka because she's not a Jedi anymore. He was the one that was talking to Rex, right? And
Because he was the new commander. Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, I like that when Rex is kind of like much being a commander anyway.
And that was actually really cool because, for one, everybody was like, whoa, what? They make Rex a commander? Then why did no one ever call him a commander after that? Like, not even in Rebels, he was always Captain Rex. And, then it's
see why.
Yeah. Devoted.
Shit, it was so fucking sad, man. And it was cool seeing the crash when he's going down and she's like running down the side of the crash and shit, like flying through the air. And that's just cool action shit that fucking Jedis can do.
I love this figure, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome. Another awesome Luke figure.
Yeah.
I have so many. Oh, I need that thing, dude.
I only have one Star Wars figure right
here. Soon. Yeah, make sure I brought this one in here to mess with while we were doing this.
Nice.
I just opened them up. And I actually saved the card a little bit. I'm just going to hang this back up because it looks pretty dope. I did the same thing with the TIE Fighter.
Chris, did I show you I got these? These world's smallest toys, Super Soakers.
Oh, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah, they can work.
Yeah. Make sure you keep it in front of your shirt, Kyle, because otherwise, it starts fucking with your green screen.
Oh, fuck. That shit sucked.
I was trying to figure out what you guys were talking about when that picture came through, and then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh.
So I was doing another one today. I'm filming this thing with my friend for this bit that he wrote, and I did all the filming and I did all the cuts and stuff, and we filmed it with the green screen so we can add it in the back, and in a whole bunch of scenes we used my baby Yoda that I bought the kid for his birthday. And the same thing was happening, but it wasn't. It still looks like you could tell, but what I did was I took a picture of the baby. He was still, he wasn't moving. So I took a picture of him, and then I cut him out in PixArt and sent the PNG to my computer, and then I put the PNG sticker on the fucking thing, and I sized it up to look like him. You could totally tell, but obviously it's not. We're not doing this for sort of
post-pro magic there.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah, it was making him gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of his color, you'd need a blue screen.
Yeah. I don't have one. I have a white, black, and a green.
Yeah.
I have to get a better setup too because my green screen is just a cloth background. That's fine, but I need to get some clamps to tighten it because it's you can see the wrinkles, and then when the window's open, you can see the wrinkles blowing.
Yeah.
You can see, but for what I'm doing, it's plenty fine.
Word.
But yeah, fuck that green screen. Anyway, Star Wars. So, it was just like you said, it was because of all the Ahsoka stuff coming out, like they definitely made like her like the star toward the
Yeah.
end of it. It was for me that's amazing because I love her.
Yeah.
And so that could lead into your news and rumors for Mandalorian season 2. And I heard a whole bunch of stuff, but I always say I go to you for what to sift through all that shit for me. 'Cause I know you're not just following. You got this covered. And
Yeah. Oh God,
awesome.
no.
Fucking.
Like I should grab my chair and sit down. So.
So you shared a link from We Got This Covered. So yeah, season 2, Ahsoka, Rex, Sabine Wren, Boba Fett. Boba Fett and Rex both being played by Tamura Morrison, who played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones. Which is that alone is just insane.
Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant as well. He's playing.
Dude, I don't care who he's playing. I'm in, dude. I love that guy, man. He is awesome.
Let me tell you a little bit about his character.
Danny Cordray. He sells paper. Just kidding.
It's
hottest in the office.
Fuck. Now I'm so stoned I can't remember what.
Timothy
I can't remember who's.
He's going to be in
Van. It's
armor.
something. Yeah, he wears Boba Fett's armor. Boba Fett discards his armor after he gets out of the Sarlacc pit. In the Star Wars Aftermath books, he's actually in there. Another character that's in the Aftermath books is Clone Kix. He was in a shuttle that crashed and went into hibernation stasis. It literally gets found during the Disney sequel era and brought out of hibernation. And
so he thinks he's a clone trooper still, like.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that'd be wild.
And he has to get like reacclimated to life and what's happening in the universe, and ends up working with a crew of pirates. And
nice.
Like, yeah. There's a guy that was in Maz Kanata's bar, castle, whatever. Yeah, whatever you call it. He was all in red, and he had like a helmet with like that. It was that dude. He was Kix is on his crew. So I don't.
Yeah, that's who Finn was gonna join up with them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of crazy. Like, so there's another possibility of another clone that we might actually see in the future.
Be awesome.
Because it would be awesome. The rumor is the way this stuff is going to go is that Ahsoka and
spoilers, by the way, if you're listening and you don't want to know anything, then just fucking
And I mean, if you haven't watched Rebels, if you haven't finished Rebels, Kyle, if you haven't finished Rebels, there are going to be some spoilers here.
I'm pretty sure I know most things that happen anyway. So.
How far are you? What was the last?
I watched the shit with where Hera got captured by Thrawn, and they rescued her, and Janus was making Ezra lead the team, and he had already had that encounter with the Loth Wolf that was calling him Dune.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. I'm on that shit. So it's like episode 6 or 7, 8 maybe, not sure, but it's okay. I'm pretty sure I get what's going on.
Okay. So, the very end of Rebels, Sabine and Ahsoka decide the end of Rebels has like an epilogue that takes place after after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So Ahsoka's older. You can clearly see it. She's all dressed in white. She has a staff. She's like dressed like Gandalf the White.
I've seen that picture a million times. Yeah.
Yeah. She shows up and hammers the staff, and like Sabine, like who's clearly older and her armor is painted differently, turns around and she has a mural that she painted of the whole Rebels crew.
Right.
And I guess they decide now that the Empire is beaten that it's time to go and search for Ezra. So that's the thing that kind of bums me out, is that like that took that ending on Rebels was after Return of the Jedi. So if it was after Return of the Jedi and they were going to go search, well, oh yeah, I guess we are all right. So like basically when we meet Ahsoka, Sabine, and Rex, they're going to be on their journey to find Ezra and Grand Admiral, who are somewhere in the unknown reaches of space. Because in the end of Rebels, Ezra calls upon the space whales. And
why does every sci-fi thing has some sort of iteration of fucking either space whales or space squids?
Yeah,
it's a thing. It's always
my next creation that I come up with personally, and I'm hoping will turn into a massive, bank hit, make me a zillionaire. I'm gonna have space turtles. So my space turtles will also they will travel. You got to understand though, those space turtles are the very foundation of life, because just like the flat Earth, all the planets are built on top of the back of the turtle shell.
Yep. Dude, it's just like Frank says in Always Sunny, we could just be a turtle's dream in outer space.
Exactly. And now I will make it so that you actually can be a turtle's dream in outer space. So like these space whales, well, they're like, they have tentacles too, but like, so they're kind of like squiddy whale things. They have a natural ability to travel through hyperspace.
Yeah, they showed them in an episode on like season 3 or something like
that. Yeah, early on they did. So what happens is Thrawn's defeated, the Empire is defeated on planet, and Ezra called on the whales. All the rest of the Ghost crew is off the Imperial ship they're on. I think it was the Star Destroyer or something. It was big. Ezra calls on the whales. The whales attach to all areas of the ship and just like wrap themselves in their squiddy tentacles all around it, and take Thrawn and Ezra and whatever stormtroopers were basically still on the ship out into wherever the Force decided. And nobody knows where that is. So like that's at the end of Rebels, which is before Rogue One. And they don't get to go out there searching for him until after
way later. Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. We should be in for some really, really dope shit.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
And Rosario is Ahsoka.
I'm with it. Dude,
totes.
Hey, that's kind of a random question. Do you know if these blades come out of the saber hilt?
Yeah. Is yours stuck?
It's not coming out. It twists, but it's not pulling. I just got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just had to grip it a little harder.
You might want to heat it up if it keeps giving you problems. But if you can get it back in there, it probably should be good. One of the things about this loop is he
I
comes
just
with
want
a
I just want
yeah,
him to have it and then hold him his blaster.
nice. Yeah, that's the thing that bummed me out that he didn't come
All
with
of
that.
all of my Luke figures are him holding a saber, and so I kind of just want to have him have one with the hilt hanging on his belt, holding a blaster for whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that fucker was in there good, man.
Yeah.
You got a ton of blasters, I'm sure, laying around.
Oh yeah.
I really like this one that he's rocking, dude. It's kind of cool. It kind of looks like the DL44, but like not as cool.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Dude, check out how this one sits. Got it back.
So that's pretty much the big rumor, right, for Mandalorian season 2. Just all the Ghost, Ahsoka, and the Ghost crew.
So
Yeah.
I wonder how that's gonna tie in with Din and his. Oh, nice, dude. That looks sick.
See,
Cool.
it hangs so good.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, like they nailed the fuck out of that. It's
this one's not bad. It sticks out a little bit, but
yeah.
It's his thighs that's in the way. It's making it stick out, I think. So.
Yeah, this one it'll rest wherever you want it to. It's pretty sweet. Definitely much better
than
any other loop.
I can't wait to get that figure in, dude.
Dude, yeah, you're gonna love it.
Frothing at the mouth.
What were you gonna say, Chris, a second ago, about how something's gonna tie in?
Oh, I'm wondering how that's gonna tie in with Din and his journey with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, like that's I'm wondering where they're gonna meet up, and is someone gonna be after him? Is someone gonna be like, chasing him, and the Ghost crew end up like helping them or something?
Well, Moff Gideon is fucking pissed.
Right.
He's like, that was my favorite TIE fighter, you motherfucker.
Well, and the other thing is both Rex and Ahsoka knew Yoda. So the second they see a baby Yoda.
Yeah, what?
Dude, I just saw that. Holy shit.
Yeah, like what a moment that's going to be.
I would love personally to see Mando fight with a Darksaber.
Oh my god.
And then maybe he could give it back to Sabine. Maybe he could give it to her or something to her at the end, but I'd love to see him at least have an awesome battle, like using the fucking Darksaber, just fucking cutting up.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest fucking looking lightsaber, man. It looks so cool though.
Yeah.
I love even the way they make it, like when they swing it, the way they make it different looking than the other lightsabers. So fucking badass.
That like traditional sword blade.
Mm-hmm. Fucking rad.
Yeah.
I wish Black Series or like, Force Effects, whatever they're called now, would make one of those.
They are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, it's like I think there's been like price listings for it, but obviously they haven't. I don't think they've shown us like pictures of the big swanky one. I think the last one they showed off was what, like Revan?
It was Revan, yeah, and it was
Revan.
expensive too.
Yeah.
I'm spending that kind of money. I'm just gonna get one custom made.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Is like when you look at what they're charging for them now, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, for a little bit more money, you can get one that's fucking awesome, like the one Wayne got.
Yep. Preloaded with whatever sounds you want, the colors you want. Yeah. And you can like hit shit with it. You don't have to worry about it breaking.
Yeah.
I would get a white one.
Yeah.
Skate. Two white ones.
Skeet.
I'd get a black one, I think, like a black black blade would look dope. But I think like if anything, I'd really want to get like the full swanky ass saber with like the whole spectrum, like every color you could have on it. You just gotta like cycle through it.
Like one of those pens where you can click down the different colors of ink, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be a cool kind of concept if somebody made a lightsaber that that they use that in the actual like Star Wars. Like somebody made a lightsaber that you can switch
With
different colors.
Like a ring of different saber blades. And then like your ultra super attack, you pop out all the colors and it just looks like a gay pride flag.
Fucking Voltron blade.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. I saw some YouTube video the other day that was I didn't watch it, but it was entitled "Why Darth Sidious Feared Yellow-Bladed Lightsaber Wielders" or something like that. Which I guess were all the temple guards.
Yeah.
I should have watched it.
They were supposed to be the temple guards were supposed to be like keepers of knowledge. Like green blades were supposed to signify a very powerful force user. Blue blades were to signify, I think it was an adept warrior or something like that.
Yeah, it makes sense with Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, and Qui-Gon, you know. Yeah. Dooku he had a green saber when he was a Jedi. Yoda, green saber. Luke.
Yeah.
Ahsoka. But then Anakin turned him blue.
Because she's an adept warrior now.
Well, because he was.
And then she turned him white. Now that's something completely new. I don't think that was the first time a white saber has ever been.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, they have used them before? Okay.
Yeah, but like it wasn't. I don't know if it was always just a part of Legends or if like the whole Ahsoka thing is like the first time it becomes canon. But
there's a scene in that book. It's at actually the last scene where she's with Bail Organa. He's like really excited to see her like lightsaber, and he's like asks if he could like see it and hold it, and he's like, "Oh, white saber! I've never seen one before."
Wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
And that's when she tells him that she'll join the Resistance as like I don't know what she does really. She's more of like she scouts out potential missions and potential like the shit that they can do.
Mm-hmm. You mean the Alliance, the Rebel Alliance?
Yeah. What did I say?
What's
Resistance.
Resistance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Some
I mean,
Disney shit.
In my mind, I immediately just heard Alliance because that's like what I knew you were saying.
You knew what he meant.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes,
How dare you?
You know, she goes, I can't call myself Ahsoka because obviously I can't use that name. And he goes, what's your code name? And she just goes, Fulcrum. And that's how the book ends. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was telling.
I think that book came out just before that reveal on Rebels.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. It's really awesome. Chris, you should totally read it, man. I was telling you.
Dude, I do want to read that book, dude. Yeah.
The way it starts.
I don't know. I've never listened to an audiobook before, though. Like, I've always read them. But
you can probably.
I'll have to look into that.
You could probably find them on YouTube, and if not,
I can send you the file for the audiobook. I have it.
Yeah. That'll be my first audiobook.
You know, listen to one before. Chris, it's really cool too. It's actually read by Ashley Eccleston.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Eckstein.
Yeah.
Resistance. Potato Eccleston. It's read by her, so it has her voice doing Ahsoka, which is awesome. Yeah. It totally helps you get through it anyway.
Yeah. I'm tempted to get that audiobook of the Darth Plagueis book.
Oh, I have it. I'll send it to you.
Nice.
I downloaded like 40 fucking Star Wars audiobooks, man.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't there a book about Thrawn?
There's a trilogy. There's actually more than a trilogy, but yeah.
Yeah,
But there's like trilogy that's supposed to be like the definitive like Thrawn, right?
Yeah, like from the expanded universe stuff, there was stuff that came out back in the 80s and 90s that was like amazing, built him up as a character. And then there's I think another 3 books that they did for like the modern Star Wars, like the Disney era.
Man, I saw that Thrawn figure at stores multiple occasions too. I kind of regret
they made one.
That.
Fuck,
dude. Same. Totally kicked myself in the ass for not.
Same with Ahsoka, Ezra. I saw them all.
I got Ahsoka. I wasn't collecting Star Wars all during that time, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I never saw Ezra, but I saw Ahsoka a shit ton. I only saw.
There's a Walmart. There's a Walgreens by my old job that still has a Canon sitting there.
Oh wow, Kanan. Yeah.
Or Kanan, however you say it. Yeah.
Grab that shit.
I'll have to go look. I'll look and see. I'm gonna go down there probably within the next couple of days. My old boss owes me money.
Yeah, dude. If they have one, I'll take that shit.
Yeah, I'll go look.
He comes with a pretty sweet lightsaber too.
I'd love to see them switch him to a yellow saber during the show.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had, like, with especially when he went through the temple and got knighted by the temple guards.
Yeah,
who
Inquisitor
was the Grand Inquisitor. Yeah.
Speaking of Inquisitors, my God, dude, I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order right now, and the Ninth Sister is so fucking hard to beat, dude. I cannot get past it. I've been on it for 2 weeks, trying it for a couple hours every day. Can't get. It's fucking hard, man.
Damn, if you
and I don't want to change the difficulty. I could put it down to easy and get past it, but that cheapens it for me. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah. Have you looked at any of the looked at anything on YouTube, like a walkthrough on what to do?
Not yet. No, that's my next step if I can't do it by this week.
Yeah. I'd suggest probably going that route, because damn, 2 weeks at that spot. Yeah, that
would make me just not want to play a game anymore.
Yeah.
I would quit the game before.
I spent like over a month on Batman Arkham Origins fighting Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, that was a hard one, yeah.
Penguin ship. Oh my God, dude. And I was like playing it for my full shift at work at Marley's, dude, 10 hours trying it. Like,
wow.
And dude, it was so sweet when I finally got it. I was like, dude, oh my God, it was awesome.
I was really mad that happened to me playing Final Fantasy 13, and it wasn't like, that was a weird game because it was more linear than all the other Final Fantasies, but I really liked the story and I really liked the combat, and I got to a boss that I couldn't fucking beat, and the same thing, it took me like forever, and eventually I quit. And with Final Fantasy games, you can usually go back and just grind it out and level up a bit, but I was stuck at a point where it was like a save point, and then you were forced to be the next thing was you were forced to fight. You couldn't go back anywhere. So you couldn't run around fucking fighting enemies for a couple hours, just grind it. And after that, I realized that I should start doing multiple saves. Like, instead of overwriting my save, do like 3 saves. And then start overwriting them and then go back.
I learned that early on in my Oblivion days.
Yeah.
Multiple saves.
But all right, guys, any final thoughts? Wrap this up.
I love Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Me too, Chris. Me too. I'm gonna find some like awesome like artwork of it or something. I'm gonna get my.
I really like Anakin too, dude. Like.
Yeah, the Clone Wars did a really great job of fleshing him out as a character.
They really made me retroactively like the prequels too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it gives. It's like somebody's serving you lasagna and they don't tell you that they're also giving you garlic bread, but then they pull out the garlic bread fresh out of the oven.
Speaking my language.
I gotta tell you, Nico, if somebody's serving me lasagna and there's no garlic bread,
I'm killing them.
Yeah, that ain't right, man. There's just something.
Pulling out my white lightsaber and fucking
turning it red.
I can't eat either one of those things, so fuck you guys. A buddy of mine that he drew this for me for my 30th.
Oh, that's sick.
He's like a really good artist, and I don't know if I sent through earlier or a week ago or so that he did that one with the Marvel Zombies playing poker. I shared it on my timeline. Yeah, I'll send it through again.
I don't know if I saw that.
But his name is Tom Taylor. He's a guy that does he's like a tattoo artist that I've been friends with for a while. So he does like my tattoos and shit. And he's gonna do a Starscream cover up on my Hatchet Man.
Nice.
But I was he was asking if he wanted to draw something for me, and like a commission or something. And I think I might ask him to do like a Ahsoka versus like Darth Vader like kind of thing, like where it looks like they're
That'd be rad, dude.
Preparing the fight. Yeah.
Dude, you should get an Ahsoka tat.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet.
Dude, tattoo like her pattern on your face.
There you go.
Hey, it's a Gruda face.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I might have to apply for a job one of these days.
Right. Yeah.
I'm mad that I got tats that I can't cover up easily. I'm definitely not getting them on my fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get knuckles one either, I've thought about.
Hey, no covering those
tattoos so many times. But yeah,
it's zero. Awesome. So
yeah,
nothing to cover.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we'll call it a day. Thanks for getting on.
Yeah,
May
boys.
the force be with you. This is the way.
All that stuff.
All that good shit.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. D-Bird Dazed out.
Kill him now.
Go Birds!